Did you ever hear from Marla about how Marla treated me when I called her? Did she ever tell you about that?
Because she didn't want to hear you bitch about me and Dad.
I wasn't bitching about you and Dad. That's crazy.
She has no use for that. If you want to talk to Marla, she told you she will talk to you face to face.
Yeah, so I can get thrown in the psych ward again?
Oh, that's not true. That's not going to happen. You're not on drugs now, Brianna.
And I wasn't then either. I wasn't then either.
Oh, you were too.
Really? Who told you that?
Brianna, it was very obvious.
No.
Obvious.
I was on antidepressants and Klonopin and Xanax.
Illicit drugs or if it was prescription drugs.
Which was it, Mom? Which was it? I told you in high school I was experimental, but I don't know what else you're talking about. I know that the Xanax and Klonopin.
Drugs, Klonopin are drugs.
Yeah.
You have a chemical dependency on those drugs. You were an addict. You couldn't do without
I was prescribed them.
You could not function, and you couldn't function for years. I was trying to help you.
So, okay, let me get that straight.
Seek deeper.
So, what was the reasoning for wanting to get me on Medicaid? The true reason. Why?
So that you could go to the doctor and be able to be treated.
I could do that. I was taking care of my. I was taking care of all my stuff. I was taking care of all my own medical care, paying for my own medicines and my own appointments and everything on my own. I don't know why you were so concerned about that, or if you were worried that you were going to have to pay for it or what. But I even went to pay for therapy. Okay, well, I was prescribed by a doctor those things.
Oh, yeah, 2.5 times the amount that you were...
That's not my... I didn't... Do you think I told him to prescribe me more?
Well, I know, and they made a drug addict out of you. They did. They made a drug addict out of you. That's not my fault.
So you're telling me because I was prescribed by a professional doctor medicine that I was looked down upon?
You weren't looked down upon. It was that you had an addiction to prescription drugs. I've seen many a patient.
Yeah, well, guess what? I remember you had an addiction. You had addiction back in the day to fen, which was more or less meth. So that's the same thing, more or less, right? Because you were prescribed by a doctor, correct?
What?
Fen. That was like meth, okay? You were prescribed by a doctor, right?
That was a weight loss drug, and I didn't take it more than 4 months.
Why do I remember you crying because you couldn't get the doctor to give it to you because they took it off the market?
Oh, yeah, they took it off the market because it was causing a pulmonary hypertension, which is non-irreversible.
But did I blame you? Did I blame you? Say you were a drug user? Did I call you a drug user? A drug abuser?